Welcome to the OptosAdvance tutorial. This video is intended to provide information on how to use OptosAdvance to review images captured with our ultra-wide-field devices. The software is browser-based and may be used on any platform or device. To launch OptosAdvance, enter the following URL into your browser: http://OptosAdvance. This may vary with an alternative address provided at the time of installation. If a shortcut has already been created, simply double-click on the icon on your desktop to get to the login screen, and then enter username and password into the appropriate fields before clicking the Login button. This will take you to the Patient Study directory. The Patient Study directory shows patient sessions in time order. You may search for a specific patient by name, ID number, or date of birth. You may also select a specific date range to display by choosing a range in the Performed On drop-down menu. Once you have located the desired study, click on it once to open for review. Let's review the screen. At the top of the screen, you will see a toolbar with the different icons for manipulating your images. On the left side of the screen is a summary of the images that were taken. This can be hidden or revealed by clicking on the blue arrow. If applicable, you will see a timeline of the patient's sessions underneath the toolbar. This may also be hidden or revealed by clicking on the blue arrow in the top right corner of the screen. The bottom right of each viewport will show you how many images are available for review. Let's review the available toolbar functions. At the top, Pan, Zoom, Smart Zoom, Window Level, Gamma, Enhance, Blend, Key Image, Link, HD, Annotations, Hanging Protocols, Previous, Reset, Next, OD and OS, Study Layout, View, Cine, Save, Study Note, Print, Settings, Studies, and the Log Off. You may use the toolbar for image manipulation. To use the toolbar, select the function you want to activate, and the left mouse button will control that tool. It will remain in that tool until you click back on Zoom. For example, clicking on Gamma will enable the left button of your mouse to brighten or darken an image. Alternatively, there are mouse and keyboard shortcuts that streamline the image review process and eliminate clicking on and off the toolbar. We will now review the use of those shortcuts. Please have this guide available for reference while you are learning the mouse shortcuts in OptosAdvance. It can be found in your marketing kit or on the Optos customer portal for you to download and print. To zoom into an image, hold the left mouse button down while moving the mouse towards the screen. The images are linked by default, so all viewports are zoomed in to the same magnification once you release the left button. You may disable this feature by toggling off the link icon on the toolbar. To zoom out, hold the left mouse button down while moving the mouse away from the screen. To pan an image, hold the right mouse button down while moving the mouse around to drag the image to the desired location. Double-clicking an image will present it in a single, full-screen viewport. The highlighted OD icon on the toolbar indicates we are viewing the right eye images. Selecting OS will present left eye images. Using the scroll wheel will move through the other images taken for that eye. If eye-steered images were captured, your software is capable of automatically generating a montage that can be found in the series navigation bar on the left-hand side of your screen. Click on the thumbnail labeled Blackford Montage and select OD or OS from the toolbar if necessary. Double-clicking the left mouse button again will restore the original study layout. The upper right corner of the viewport shows the image is 50% red and 50% green. You may blend to separate the red and green channels of a color image by simultaneously holding down the Shift key and the left mouse button while pushing the mouse towards the screen to isolate the red channel, or the choroid, or away from the screen for the green channel, or red-free image, with the percentage of the red and green displayed at the top right of the viewport. 100% red shows the choroid, and 100% green shows the sensory retina. You may reset to restore the image to its original presentation if needed. A quick note on reset. Clicking Reset will unlink the images and undo any changes made to the image, including annotations. You will need to manually link images again. Click Reset only if you want to undo all of these changes. Exiting the study will allow you to undo any image manipulations besides annotations, which will save. To enhance the image, simultaneously hold down the Shift key and the right mouse button while moving the mouse towards the screen. The amount of enhancement applied is displayed at the bottom left of the image viewport, with 0 being default and 3.0 being the sharpest. You may adjust the gamma or image brightness by depressing the scroll wheel and moving the mouse towards the screen to make the image brighter, or away from the screen to make the image darker. Gamma levels are displayed at the bottom left of the image viewport. There are many annotation and measurement tools that can be selected from the drop-down menu under the annotation icon on the toolbar. The most commonly used annotations are arrow, ruler, ratio, and ROI-free, which is area. All annotations are done the same way. We will use the cup-to-disc ratio annotation as an example. To measure cup-to-disc ratio, zoom in on the image and select the ratio tool from the annotation drop-down menu. Holding the left mouse button down, draw a straight line from the top of the cup to the bottom of the cup and release the left mouse button. Then draw another straight line from the top of the disc to the bottom of the disc using the same method. When complete, the ratio will be displayed. To remove an annotation from the image, right-click on the annotation and delete. Your software has a predetermined layout for how images are to be displayed. These are called hanging protocols. Hanging protocols are comprised of several different stages, which will show you different image types and comparison images. You can move through these stages by using the right or left arrow buttons on your keyboard, or by clicking the next or previous arrows on the toolbar. The first stage will show you right and left red-green images. Pressing Next will then show AF, FA, ICG, stereo images, OCT, and comparison images if applicable. The final stage will display with 3D wrap. If prior images exist, a timeline will be visible on the top left of the screen underneath the toolbar. Pressing the Next button will go through the images taken today first, and then show right eye prior images. This is noted by a red exclamation point indicating multiple studies are present. Today's image will appear in the left viewport, and the most recent prior image will appear in the right viewport, labeled as prior. To see priors for left eye, autofluorescence, etc., continue to press the Next button. If you wish to compare older images, drag and drop the desired date from the timeline into one of the viewports, selecting OD, OS from the toolbar if necessary. The image will be unlinked. Adjust the zoom and link the images if needed. 3D Wrap is a useful patient education tool, which can be found as the final stage of the hanging protocol by pressing the Next button. Pressing the space bar will allow you to play or pause the cine movement. You can manually zoom and rotate the 3D wrap using the right mouse button and left mouse button. You can manipulate the eye model to simulate refractive error, cataracts, etc. by clicking the View Tools tab located on the left side panel. Another useful feature is Smart Zoom, which can be employed by clicking the middle scroll wheel while the cursor is over an image or selecting the Smart Zoom icon on the toolbar. An overlay window will be applied onto the center of the image. You may also adjust the size and position of the overlay using the corresponding tabs. Different image types of the same eye may be brought into an overlay by dragging and dropping the desired image from the side panel into the overlay window. The green dot at the bottom left of the overlay indicates the vessels have been registered correctly. You can fade through the overlay image by holding down the scroll wheel and moving the mouse towards the screen and away from the screen to change transparency of the image. If the patient has had prior imaging sessions, these would be displayed in a timeline in the upper left-hand corner of the screen and could be dragged into the Smart Zoom overlay as well for comparison. Once a prior visit is dragged in, the series thumbnail on the left sidebar would reflect the prior visit. You can fade through the overlaid image by holding down the scroll wheel and moving the mouse towards the screen and away from the screen to change transparency of the image and visualize change over time. To turn off the Smart Zoom, simply click the middle scroll wheel outside of the Smart Zoom window or click the Smart Zoom icon on the toolbar. If the laterality of an image is displayed incorrectly, it may be changed by right-clicking the mouse and choosing Edit Image Header from the drop-down menu, selecting the correct laterality, clicking OK, then continue to confirm the change or cancel to terminate. If you are finished reviewing the patient's images, select the Studies icon in the toolbar to return to the patient study directory. When you have finished using the review software, exit by clicking the Log Off button. Do not close the window until you have logged off. For answers to frequently asked questions, please visit www.optos.com. www.optos.com.